Hey everybody, Chris here, and welcome finally to the Star Wars recap. This is the recap that is going to be covering each and every Star Wars book that came out the month of May 2014. One thing to note is, actually there's two books to note. Number one, The Star Wars ended this month. Issue 8 was the final issue. I did not read The Star Wars from the first issue, so I hadn't reviewed it. Another book, Star Wars Legacy, issue number 15. The good news is this is the end of the story arc. Hopefully, by issue 16, I won't be as lost as I was here. In the end, I will say Anaya Skywalker was found innocent. Another, Jedi who had abandoned I forgot his name, he was arrested, but somebody went to free him, and there was a lightsaber involved. To be continued. Hopefully I won't be too lost in the next story arc. If I am, probably Star Wars Legacy is going to drop off of the recap, just because I'm lost and I'm not able to go all the way back to the beginning and start from the beginning. Maybe at some point I will, and then I'll catch up, but we'll see with the next issue before I make final judgment on Star Wars Legacy. However, now we're getting into books I can talk about. Star Wars Rebel Heist, issue number 2. In the last issue, Han Solo was imprisoned. He tried to escape. It failed. He ended up getting locked up in a high security cell, and he was beaten to a pulp. However, in this issue, Leia is on a different planet, and her goal is to find this code. And one of the agents, one of the new recruit agents, failed and actually meets up with her. The artwork in this book is spectacular, by the way. I'm telling you, I really enjoyed reading this book for the artwork. So Leia goes undercover to, it turns out this, what was his name? Well, who was he? Somebody of high power actually had the code and locked it away. So she goes undercover as a drug dealer to basically sneak her way in and get the code. She ends up trading drugs, and then he's like, what do you want in return? She says, just a party. He has the party. She uses the party as her cover to basically find where the code was locked away. And spoiler alert, the code was a trooper, or somebody who went under cover as a trooper. The code is actually in his DNA. So basically he is the what she has to bring back. So they escape barely. However, Leia gets captured. So to protect the guy who has the code in his DNA, she gives the agent another final mission or something to do before the code leaves. And that's to give him this chip he's going to rendezvous with, as we all saw from the next cover, Chewie. A lot of people for the rebellion are depending on this code for something, and she gets him off, the operative gets him off the planet, and that's when we find out that he's now rendezvousing with Chewie. I have a feeling this is all gonna connect together, where Chewie and this guy, I forgot his name, will be somehow breaking into the prison facility and breaking Han Solo out at some point. This is a really good story. I read this a while ago, so that's why I'm very fuzzy with this one. This one was one of the first books I actually read. However, I am enjoying it, and this book definitely was a lot better than the first issue. Sorry about that, a little bit of a hiccup with the camera. Anyway, the next issue is Star Wars Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir, issue number 1. So, Darth Maul is now the prisoner of Count Dooku and the Emperor. This obviously takes place, when does this take place? There's a recap at the beginning of the book if you're interested in where what time period this takes place in. So basically, the Emperor is using Darth Maul now to find out the whereabouts of Mother Talzin. Basically, she's been a problem for the Empire for a while, and now he basically looks to eliminate her. Darth Maul isn't saying anything. His people, or his army, break in, his soldiers, and break him out. He escapes. The Emperor tells Count Dooku basically to hurt, somehow to hurt him enough to make him go back to her, to his mother. And what happens is Dooku sends, oh, what's his name? I want to get his name right. It left my mind completely. Oh, General Grievous. General Grievous basically destroys most of Darth Maul's army, leaving him basically running. Not in retreat, but running to fight another day with whomever survived. And General Grievous basically lost a lot of robots himself, but this is basically Dooku's plan. Basically, he's pushing Darth Maul to the point where he'll go running back to what's her name, Witch Talzin, and we'll see if he actually does in the end. This is a high action-packed issue. I really liked it. Definitely an awesome first issue. Next and finally, we have Star Wars issue number 17, the Granddaddy of them all, the ongoing series. Luke is betrayed. It turns out that we all knew the general was for the Empire, so Luke was being taken to the top of this mountain to basically be executed. How does he find this out and escape? Obi-Wan Kenobi reaches out to him finally after a long absence, and Luke gets out of it barely, and basically is now on a race down the mountain that took him 2 days to climb to get to Leia to warn her about the Empire and what's going on. While this is all going on, it's the wedding day, so everybody's preparing for the wedding. Luke is still running down the mountain. He actually gets rescued by, what's her name? I want to get her name right. Ardana, who's part of Rogue Squadron. And at this exact same moment also, there's an explosion right where Princess Leia and Mon Mothma is, and at this very moment the Empire shows up, and that's where the book ends, just like that. So Imperials make their appearance, to be continued. This book basically, the rebellion was betrayed. What's going to happen in the next issue? What happened to Leia? What happened to Mon Mothma? Will Luke make it at some point? I believe he made it to the town. Or no, he didn't. Basically, he got picked up by Ardana in the X-Wing, and that's kind of where that's left off. So we don't know what's going to happen next, but this book is one of my favorite Star Wars books. I love the ongoing. Again, I hate to see this book leave Dark Horse and go to Marvel. I hope that at least Marvel keeps the same creative team on it and lets them do what they're doing now without sticking their 2 cents in, because this series is going strong on its own without any kind of Marvel interference, if you guys know what I mean. But I do know that Dark Horse has this title, I believe, until the end of the summer, so we'll see, or the end of the fall, whatever. But until then, I'm really enjoying Star Wars, and I'm hoping that I'll still be saying that when Star Wars goes over to Marvel. Hopefully Marvel will keep up with the miniseries as well as the ongoing, but that's all yet to be determined. Maybe they'll just have an ongoing and that's it. It all depends on Marvel. Maybe somehow Dark Horse will be able to pull the contract out and keep it. I doubt it, though, because I believe Marvel already took the license over, is taking the license once Dark Horse's time with the series is over. So let's hope for the best, everybody. But all in all, it was a great week for Star Wars. The only books I really couldn't give you guys were the 2 books that I didn't read from issue 1, and Rebel Heist definitely got better. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. Don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline, and Zone4Podcast.com. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Feel free to leave comments below, and your comments will be heard on next week's weekly comic book haul. This week's weekly comic book haul was already shot, even though it's probably going to go up before, right after this video. And yeah, so I guess that's it, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting, and I will see you guys really soon in the next review. Take care, everybody.